Hi guys and welcome back to another DrAce video. Today we're using Jack Miller here in Sepang, but this time we're using the adaptive AI. Now I've been doing a couple of races by myself for the past couple of hours and I'm honestly not convinced with 120% versus adaptive AI. I don't think the adaptive AI gets anywhere near 120%. I did a Chang International Circuit a moment ago and that's my third or fourth race today, and I absolutely dominated them by miles. So I am a little bit concerned that the adaptive AI is not getting quicker than I am, and I'm thinking that possibly it is better just to stay at 120%. I was already pretty much convinced, as Taka's just been given an all-lap penalty. He must have caused a collision, did the Japanese rider. But yeah, I've wanted to try it because I've been saying to a lot of you guys that adaptive AI is actually slower because it only caps up to 120%, where when I play 120% AI, it is just determined at that. It doesn't reduce, it doesn't increase, it just stays at 120%. So I wanted to try it nonetheless because I did speak to Milestone and they said to me that adaptive AI does cap at 120%, but I wanted to try it myself anyway because I know you guys have been asking for it, and I know some people were saying that adaptive AI was a couple of tenths quicker. Well, I have done practice, I've done qualifying, I've done races, and I can't seem to get them to be any quicker. But for this one, the practice seemed okay, but I did skip it because I wanted to start from the back of the grid. And it did remind me a bit of 120%. It did feel a little bit more stronger, but at the same time, I'm not very good at the Sepang circuit. It's one of my bogey circuits. I do really struggle at this track. As great as it is, it's just not a track I'm good at, so I have to take that into consideration, that maybe now at this stage with the wet situation, rainy flags all out, of course, it's going to be a flag-to-flag situation at some point throughout this video. Maybe then the adaptive AI is going to keep it fair, and 120% AI may be too difficult for me at this track. So we'll give it a few more goes first before I completely wash my hands clean of adaptive AI. I will do a career mode video as well. The next one's in Sachsenring, so we'll see how it goes. But honestly, I'm not convinced. I think it's better just to stay at 120%, to be quite honest with you. I don't want to be just winning every single race by a country mile. Doesn't feel too bad right now. As I say, we're 3 seconds behind Pecco Bagnaia, but I don't feel we've had that time to really start churning out the lap times to feel like we've got it. I've done some videos already, recorded some time trial, and I've not really done wet weather in a few days, so maybe we've got to factor that in. So hopefully when it dries out later, we'll get a clearer understanding of the differences between the AI. But I just want you to know, guys, I've taken this very seriously, and I've really tried to come to the nitty-gritty of figuring out what is best for the content. Because as I said numerous times before, I don't enjoy just dominating races. I do every now and again, but I worry that it's not fun for the viewers. So with that in mind, if adaptive AI would be better, then we'll use that. If 120% is better, then we stay with that. But just rest assured, I've been doing the research, I've been doing my best to try and figure it out. If it's not perfect, then I'm sorry, it's the best of the worst situation, let's say. We give it everything we can. And for some reason, I'm getting a bit of stutter in that corner for some strange reason. I also noticed it in turn 3. Never had stutter in this game before, or a drop in frame rate, so I don't know what is going on. Oh, subtle camera change. Did you see that? Did you notice the subtle camera change? The one downfall of these flag-to-flag situations are the spoiler of the little camera change. It's very subtle, but the camera sort of resets. And you might have noticed it there if you... Oh my god, I've gone wide now. I should be paying attention. But yeah, if you want, rewind that bit, you'll know exactly what I mean. The camera just ever so subtly changes, just briefly. And when that occurs, that usually means the rain is about to stop, or the rain is going to begin. It's a small sort of change within the camera angle. In fact, I think it's for when the track really starts to get wet, when it's dry, and vice versa the opposite side. So now I don't see any raindrops, so the track is completely dry. We're in a very clear, very warm climate here, so it could dry up pretty quickly, as I just remembered that Marquez got past me again, didn't he, after I made that mistake. And there is the number 93. Again, stutter. Where are these little stutters coming from? I'm looking at my FPS in the top right-hand corner of the screen. It goes from 60 down to about 54. But only in those corners. Very strange. I hate stutter, and I hate any drops in frame rates. That's usually why I tend to just play at 60 FPS, because with my 6900 XT graphics card, it's pretty much good enough to play the games I play at 4K 60. So if I'm dropping frames, that's a little bit concerning. Maybe the wet weather is just a bit uneasy, I don't know. I've never had that problem before, that's why I'm really concerned now. I don't like frame drops. If I need to buy another graphics card, then I'll go out and buy one again. Just to ensure the content does not suffer. And here, there it is again. Stutter. I don't like it. We don't like these frame drops. Go away. As Brad Binder has a look behind him, he's like, what the hell's he complaining at? Brad Binder's not having any problems, clearly. But as it stands, Pecco Bagnaia leads the way. Pedro Acosta in second. He's having a terrific race in second place. Martin third. And the two factory KTM boys, fourth and fifth, respectively. Of course, Jack Miller's future is still unknown at the moment in MotoGP, as at least recording of today's recording. I hope Jack Miller finds himself in a new team next season in MotoGP. A lot of conversation about him moving over to World Superbike, which I don't dislike, but I feel that Miller's good enough to be in MotoGP. But at the same time, World Superbike is great, and it's always nice to have more talent involved in World Superbike. And of course, we had some pretty interesting races at the weekend in Donington Park for World Superbike. Of course, we don't have to wait too long, as a matter of fact. They moved straight over to Most, and instead of not having a month off like we've been having, so that's great. We're looking forward to World Superbike. Of course, Remy Gardner will be replacing the injured Cal Crutchlow for his scheduled wildcard in Silverstone. As Brad Binder is getting closer to us, but there is still more stutter in that right-hander. I do apologise, and I hope it's not too jarring. For those who probably don't watch at 60 Hz, you'll probably not even notice it, but for anyone else, you will be triggered every time you see that. It's not optimised well in the water, I would say. We are closing in. I don't think... Oh, Martin has actually made the move on Pedro Acosta now, so he's up to second. And this track is beginning to dry. I would probably assume around lap 6 or 7 we'll have the opportunity to swap. I think it's too early yet, so even if the white flags did come out now, it's way too early. Look at the spray coming up from Binder's KTM. That's way too much water, that. Not even going to consider... Ah, the stutter! Ah, God. I really wish it didn't do that. I'm hoping when I edit this video I might be able to smoothen it out so it doesn't look too bad. But wow, Binder's really struggling here. Is that the adaptive AI that's beginning to struggle? As the adaptive AI clearly not adapting to the circumstances, as we're finding a huge... Wow, it's so dry at this point of the circuit. Look how dry it is compared to the rest of the track. Still getting a lot of spray, but it looks rather dry compared... Ooh, Binder. Well played. Nicely done, Brad. I can't fault that overtake. That's the beauty of racing with experience, I would say. If they go through like that, you can lift up the motorcycle and just let them through. Of course, I'm hoping when we do our DrAce Ace Academy Championship that we won't see too many collisions, that riders will have that wherewithal to lift up and avoid contact. Of course, we all like a lunge every now and again, but it takes two to tango, and it takes two to stay on board the bike sometimes. And that's too early. That is too early to start considering swapping the bikes. Yes, it was quite dry on the back end of the circuit going up to the final corner, but around here, we're still getting a bit of spray, aren't we? There's Jorge Martin. He is right on the precipice now of getting through on the double MotoGP World Champion. It is a matter of time. It's not a matter of when. Not a matter of if, it's a matter of when at this stage of the Grand Prix. Martin on the heels of Pecco Bagnaia. We've heard that too many times before, haven't we? It's Pedro Acosta still in there in the fight as we brake quite firmly now for the left-hander. Now the important point here is the fact that the soft option tyres are not heating up. So if you're not sure about what to do when it comes to a flag to flag, always pay attention to your tyres. Are they heating up to a point where they just are absolutely exploding? And on the opposite side, are they too cold for the conditions? Keep an eye on those tyres. Now it's going to get rather warm here into the right hander. This part of the track was drying quite rapidly, and it's very abrasive into the Sunway Lagoon. So as we go on to the power, don't panic about the front soft, because look at it now, it's cooling down rather rapidly. I would not enter the pits yet. I'm keen to see if Pecco is going to do it. Pecco is not. Martin Acosta have gone in. That's too early. I would at least do, at the very, very least, another lap time. And across the line, Pecco with a 2:04. Myself as Jack Miller with a 2:03.462. Pecco Bagnaia in the lead, and Miller following his own teammate. His old teammate, should I say. In fact, Brad Binder's just right behind us. So in turn, us being within a second of Bagnaia, Binder is about the same behind us. So this could get rather interesting. Look at that top 8 for a change as well. Bagnaia, Miller, Binder, Espargaro, Oliveira, Johan Zarco up into the top 6, Marco Bezzecchi, and then Jorge Martin, who is just about coming out of the pits now. Of course, you can see with the arrows on his name there. Pedro Acosta actually got past him. They're all coming out of the pits now. So the only riders, in fact, there's more behind. I'm a little bit confused now. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm making making sense now. Bagnaia leads, myself with Miller, and then it's Binder and Espargaro close together on circuit. With from there, looks to be Oliveira, Zarco, Bezzecchi all together going into the right double apex right-hander. Right, I'm with you now. I'm understanding things. So this is going to be interesting. The tyres, especially that front, is getting way too warm. But the bike still feels pretty good. So I think I could stay out for another lap, but I'm going to let Bagnaia make the decision. What decision is Bagnaia going to do? I would imagine he'll come in right now, because there's no point in staying out too long. They're going to be on slicks now, and if the track is dry, they're going to be really taking advantage. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, we're going into the pits now. That's the decision I am going to make. As Bagnaia goes quite deep into the turn 15, and there he has made the pit lane entrance. So we need to reduce our speed to 37 miles an hour. Let's drop it down. There we go, 37. Oh! Did that? I'm sure that went over to 38 just as we crossed. Well, the line's here, isn't it? So yeah, we're obviously okay then. I thought that went over the 66k or 60k limit ever so slightly. Perhaps it did, but we're all right as we are. So we're in the pits now. Martin Acosta. They're just halfway through that straight. So Bagnaia will lead out of the pits. Miller in second, Binder third, Espargaro, Zarco, Bezzecchi and Oliveira. But they've just entered the pits, so we could see Acosta. Oh, in fact, I think they're going to beat us here out of the pit lane. Here comes Acosta. He leads the Grand Prix. Martin second. Marquez was in third. And there's Alex Marquez. So it hasn't gone to plan, has it? Perhaps we... Ooh, Bagnaia's wide. So now what's happened to my tyres? What tyres do I have? What's going on? Have I got the hard tyres? There's no banding. It should be the blue banding. I chose the soft option tyres, and I also chose the reduced rear brake. I don't even... What's happened there? What do I have? Do I have the blue band? I can't really see. I think I've got the softs on, right? But they are not heating up. So possibly we've done a lap too early, but considering the AI was so rapid, maybe I will give credit to the adaptive AI. They've certainly kept things interesting for now. What sort of lap times will they produce? Hard on the brakes then, rapidly closing in on Alex Marquez. We look to have the same tyres. Surely everyone's on the soft. It's just that they've got a lap more than we have. So Alex Marquez in 5th, as we're still getting stutter in that corner. There's definitely something wrong with this track, because I've never had any stutters before. If they have, they must have been very small, because I'm not noticing them anywhere near as much as this. There's an Air Bastianini's up to 7th. So yeah, I don't even know if my rear brake is the correct one. The rear brake really came around me there, and I'm still using engine brake on 3. But I'm not sure. I'm not convinced I've got what I wanted here. Maybe Miller ran out, I don't know. But into the left-hander then, and onto the power. Whoa, an Air Bastianini was closing in. Should I get onto the... I've just noticed how different Jack Miller's boots are. I've never noticed this until now. Has he got one special boot on the right-hand side and the other one's just orange and red? Never noticed that till now. Anyway, into the right-hander with Jack Miller. Alex Marquez is ahead, but that gap is coming down rather rapidly. I think we do have the soft option tyre. It's beginning to feel a bit better. Of course, considering the temperature of the two tyres, it is looking rather different as we now go onto the brakes. Can we go around the outside of Alex Marquez? I guess we can't, not at this stage of the Grand Prix. Would be rather impressive though, nonetheless. So we are closing now quite quickly on Alex. I think we might be able to get through, not at this point here, but the change of direction into the right-hand here for turn 6. Bit of a nudge, but we do make our way through. Tried to avoid the contact there, but unfortunately it still came. Also, let me know in the comment section down below, guys, have you had that issue before where the tyres don't actually depict a tyre? I have no idea what tyres were actually running there, because usually the graphic will show you exactly what tyres you've been running. And if you're not sure, you can rewind the video to when we had the rain tyres and you will see we had the softs. But, yeah, it's just disappeared. It is no presence at all at this stage of the Grand Prix. And there's that stutter again. Very annoying, but we are finding 4 seconds compared to our lap time from earlier on. Our best lap was a 2-minute 3.4. So the AI is not really doing particularly strong lap times here. 59 is not all that great, but of course, conditions aren't perfect yet. So I would imagine, oh, look at that getting caught in the curb. I would imagine that Martin is going to put in a 56, 57. But then again, we have been catching up quite quickly. I don't think the adaptive AI is that strong here. As I say, I'm not very good at this circuit. Cross the line, only a 58? Yeah, I think the AI could do better than that. Might have to try again after this one with 120%, but the problem is, the adaptive AI takes a good couple of races to get adaptive, to adapt to your style, let's say. So if I change it back to 120 to compare, I think then it's going to go straight back to just misunderstanding what adaptive AI should be at level at. So I guess maybe I'll do one more race. I'll probably do a career mode race as well, just to really test it. And then I will make my decision. But I very much imagine we'll just be staying at 120%. So we now lean into the Langkawi. Bagnaia is not getting away from us. Pedro Acosta is looking like he's under a bit of trouble now. Martin is coming in. Not rapidly, but he is closing in. So Pedro Acosta's probably going to have to think of something here to defend against the runner-up MotoGP World runner-up of the MotoGP World Championship, should I say, as Bagnaia's got that inside line. It's the only problem trying to go for the outside line there. You can't quite turn in when the AI occupies that spot. That same battle in Moto3 in the debut season when I fought Adrian Fernandez. Now into the left-hander. Acosta is under a lot of pressure here. And all this time it's bringing Marquez, Bagnaia and Miller closer to the man on board the gas as I go a bit deep there with Miller. Onto the power. Let's try and get that slipstream so I can close back in again. Tried changing the depiction of the screen on the bottom right hand side there, but it's not changing anything. As Martin temporarily through now on Acosta. Acosta's ran it wide. He might have the speed upon the straight as he does take a bit of contact from Martin. That should be it. That is Martin bettering Pedro Acosta, his fellow Spaniard. Bagnaia now attacking Marquez. Can he get through? Ooh, he's ran it a little bit deep. Bagnaia's messed that one up. As we set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, a 58.004. Wow. Really close there to Marc Marquez. Not close enough to make it through. There's a lot of red in front of us right now. Marquez with a bit of red, and Acosta and Martin, of course. So into the right-hander then. Might be able to get past Marquez in roughly the same spot that we got Alex Marquez. So it's a 2-for-1 deal with the Marquez brothers going into turn 6. Can we get it done? Yeah, we're way too close now. This is it. Beautiful lunge there from Miller. Sizing him up. Made it count. We're now within half a second of Acosta and Martin for the race victory. But oh my God! What is that? Marquez! No way! Adaptive AI Pillock. Look at the state of that. Well, I'll scream if he doesn't get a long lap penalty. That's ridiculous. What was that? Oh, there it is, long lap penalty. That's outrageous. That is absolutely bonkers. With a man of his experience, to do that is just dumbfounded. Unbelievable. And look at him, he's so far ahead there into the long lap penalty. I probably won't even see him again now. That's annoying. That is annoying. Where are these stutters coming from? Oh, it's annoying. I hate it. Oh, I'm so annoyed. I can't believe that. What a muppet. What an absolute pillock. Why did he go for that lunge like that? I don't know. I'll have a look at the replay. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. Hopefully I've already done it. Oh, that's annoying. That is really ticked me off, that one. I was having a good race there. The 120% AI, excuse me, the adaptive AI wasn't running too bad. And then that happened. That is unbelievable. An absolutely asinine overtake attempt from Marquez. Goodness me. Now, I just can't believe it. We were up to third. It was looking pretty promising there. And I think I've done a race now with every single manufacturer today. So I might get the achievement here with the doing it with the KTM. But I was hoping I could finish on a bang here, winning Sepang, and get that achievement for completing a race with each manufacturer. That's a proper kick in the teeth, that is. I don't feel like I did anything wrong there. I had the inside line. It's just that he came from nowhere. He wasn't making that corner, though, surely. You can't just pump Miller out of the way. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. I still don't know what tyres I've got. And I still don't even know if the rear brake is correct. I'm pressing it quite a lot, and I'm not convinced. I'm really disappointed that. I'm really disappointed. But nonetheless, we're in 11th, and there's still plenty of opportunity to finish into the top 8? Let's see if we can at least try and beat Brad Binder. Spargo ahead of us. He's got a second ahead of us. But the adaptive AI do seem to be a little bit weaker in the corners. So perhaps that's where we can take advantage. Bit wide there for the Sunway Lagoon. I didn't even downshift to second gear, as a matter of fact. Not confident in that corner at all. I just can't seem to figure out the braking. None of it feels right for me into that corner. It's just never liked it. And into the brakes then. Ooh, who's that going a little bit deep? It's Frankie Morbidelli, actually. He's having a good race. Up into the top 6, I think. Oh, look at the state of that. Amazingly, we didn't get a track limit warning for that. Should have done. So there's no threat from behind. No need to fret at the threat behind, because there's 4 seconds difference. As Vinales and Espargaro are giving it everything. Because at this point, in virtual terms, this would be one of the last races for Aleix Espargaro, wouldn't it? Before he moves over to Honda's test ride. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video anyway, nonetheless, even though we did get taken out by Marc Marquez. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, of course. Alternatively, like the video as well, it does help us grow. But now, Maverick Vinales is falling into the clutches of Jack Miller, the man with superior late race pace. No, never mind, that's not Jack Miller. Jack Miller's probably burned his tyres up by now, God bless him. I'm doing alright, actually, the tyres seem fine. They've got this. A flag to flag is always good for Miller, but as long as it stays rainy more than it dries, I guess. Oh, not a great acceleration out of the right-hander there, but now into the left for the clear corner. We don't have clear space in front of us, do we? Maverick is going to lose his position, though. We might go for it here. Come on. Squeeze. Nope. Not going to get through into turn 11. Oh, here comes the frame drops. Going to have to try this again in a moment without wet weather conditions, see if it changed at all. Fabio Di Gianantonio's having a good race with Raul Fernandez. We'll go for that wider line here. Nice and tight. Bring on the power. Now, third gear is not bad out that right-hander, to be honest. I was sort of testing it to see if second or third would be better. Onto the brakes. Let's try and not go wide like we did earlier on. In fact, one of the Marquez brothers is ahead of us. Is that Alex or is it Mark? Oh, goodness me. Can you move out the way, Vinales? I'm trying to get past. There we go. Do set the new fast lap of the Grand Prix. It's 1:57.8 for Jack Miller. And now it's under investigation for punting Maverick as he happened to go extremely slow. Oh, bit of contact with Aleix. But I'm coming through. And I got a warning for the contact with Vinales. Seems a bit harsh. He did miss a gear or something. I think he caught the curb. And he went really slow. Morbidelli up into 8th, actually, as a matter of fact. Not as high up as I thought he would be. And if I'm not mistaken, that is that Marquez? Is that Alex Mark? I can't tell from this distance. I think it's Mark. I think Alex is further up. Can't quite see. Let's try and get through here on Frankie. Take a brave man to go through it onto the right-hander here, especially after getting taken out a moment ago. Went into the right-hand side, just forcing the issue on Morbidelli, and it is Marquez, it is Mark. It's the older sibling of the Marquez brothers. And he's in 6th. So we might actually be able to salvage a top 6, which is not too bad, with all said and done. We lost a whopping amount of time after we got took out by the man ahead of us. But squeezing through on teammate Bendit. Please don't touch the rear tyre. I'm going to fall off the circuit. That's the worst. If the AI touch your rear tyre when you're turning at that angle, it usually means a crash. I've had that instilled in me for many, many years to avoid the contact from the AI on the rear tyre. But now we've got Marquez ahead of us, I'm feeling a bit more confident and a bit more boisterous. I'm going to go for it here. I want redemption for Jack Miller. He was unfairly dumped out of the Sepang Grand Prix. Well, here we go then. With the power. Oh, I can't even keep the bike to stop wheeling, but across the line, 57.6 for Jack Miller. Those aren't good lap times. The AI aren't improving. So perhaps we won't stick to adaptive AI. But here we go. Squeezing through on Marquez. Yeah, take a bit of that sunshine. Redemption. Have that back at you. Surprised Miller didn't look behind him. Too busy now to do it. Maybe on a straight. But for now, too busy. Because I'm determined. You know what? No, I guess it's unrealistic to think we can get on the podium. I was just looking at where Bastianini and Marquez were. From them, it's not too far away, but I think because of the nature of that corner, it did feel like we were concertining up a bit, but no, I guess if I'm sensible, we will take a top 6. Might be able to catch up to Alex for top 4, but it's gonna be late. Into the right-hander, there is turn 8. We have pulled away by a second ahead of Marc Marquez. That's pretty solid to know. Now onto the brakes with the unknown tyres. We are closing in on this duo ahead of us. The GP24 and GP23 Ducatis might not have this one done and dusted for 5th yet, or 4th, respectively. We might have a chance. I don't think I'll get any further than that, though. God forbid, unless I need something to go wrong. Yeah, the AI are going really slow now into turn 13. We might have a chance. I think adaptive AI is too easy then, isn't it? Onto the power. With the slipstream, potentially. Oh, wow, yeah, they've got no speed. Yeah, adaptive AI is... down thumbs. You can't have them that slow. Blow the raspberry for the adaptive AI. They're way too slow in that straight then. I'm okay with them going wide or maybe running a bit deep. Maybe not getting the brakes right, but you can't just be slow on the straights. That's crap. That's like a manufactured difficulty of making it... Whoa! Acosta and Bagnaia almost collided then. That was really close. And in a bit of a surprise there, we're right on the cusp of getting up to Costa and Bagnaia then. AI suffering at this stage of the Grand Prix. Wouldn't have expected Bagnaia to suffer though, because he took his tyres got one extra lap on it, or at least one lap less than Pedro Acosta's. And the same can be said for Jack Miller. One of these riders on your screen right now is going to miss out on a podium. There's 3 spots available, and one of them is Jorge Martins, who is a mile ahead of everyone else. This is it. Well, at least one thing, the adaptive AI has kept me honest, just enough so I could battle for a potential podium. We are now into the podium spots, and it could be curtains as we attack Pedro Acosta going into the left-hander. Battle of the KTMs, one of them being rebranded as a gas, of course. One into the right-hand side. Acosta prepared to meet a rider who is going to dispossess you from second. We've done it. We have now back onto the podium. So fair play, we've had a good video here today, but I think the adaptive AI has almost overreacted to the crash. It's like they've gone too soft now and gone too weak. Because my lap times, yeah, they're improved, but not by a mile, by like good half a second. And there, of course, is the 2-minute 4 when we got took out by the 8 times world champion, but into the final corner then. No danger of losing it now because the AI is shocking on the straights. Ladies and gentlemen, Martin wins, and we finish in second after getting dumped out of the Grand Prix earlier on. So, not all that bad with things considered, but I reckon that is my... Oh, I did get my achievement after all then. That is my last manufacturer to take a race, or complete a race with in MotoGP 24. But guys, thanks for watching the video. I certainly hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.